My name is Reagan Naveen, and this is From the South, teleSUR English's daily news show. Over the weekend here in Venezuela, thousands of troops and civilians partook in joint exercises with a mission to prepare for any possible military U.S. invasion. This just weeks after U.S. President Donald Trump issued a verbal, although globally denounced, threat of possible invasion into the South American country with the aim of removing the democratically elected president from office. U.S. Vice President Mike Pence also recently concluded a South American tour where he met with leaders to consolidate support against Maduro. The Venezuelan government said the exercises were intended to show that Venezuela wants peace, but that the people and the Venezuelan armed forces are united and prepared to face any aggression. Guatemala's President Jimmy Morales is adamant that Ivan Velasquez, head of the International Commission Against Impunity in Guatemala, the CICIG, must leave the country. Morales accused Velasquez of exceeding his mandate. Velasquez has been investigating the campaign financing of Morales' 2016 presidential election. This all comes just days after the CICIG said the president should be investigated over alleged illicit funding during his election campaign. The CICIG is investigating some $800,000 in allegedly unexplained contributions to Morales' campaign. The president has denied any wrongdoing.
Es nuestro deber no permitir presiones ilegítimas, ilegales e inconstitucionales como las que el comisionado Velázquez ha hecho al organismo legislativo. Reitero que el comisionado Velázquez se excedió en sus funciones porque se inmiscuyó directamente en los asuntos internos que competen con exclusividad al Estado de Guatemala por medio del Congreso de la República.
The captain of a Chinese shipping vessel which had been found fishing for endangered shark in the Galapagos Marine Reserve has been sentenced to 4 years in prison by an Ecuadorian court. On August 13th, the Chinese-flagged Fushuan Fuzleng 999 was found with 300 tons of fish, including about 6,000 protected species of sharks. 3 top officers were sentenced 3 years in prison and another 16 other crew members 1 year. The crew has also been directed to pay about $6 million in fines to the Galapagos National Park. To Colombia now, where the FARC rebel group has officially introduced its own political party, initially to be called the Revolutionary Alternative Force of Colombia, preserving the FARC initials in Spanish. Under its 2016 peace deal with the government to end its part in a war that has killed more than 220,000 people rather, the majority of fighters in the group was granted amnesty and allowed to participate in politics. The peace accord also awards the FARC's party 10 automatic seats in Congress through 2026. Both legislative and presidential elections will take place in 2018. It is not yet clear in which races the FARC will run candidates. Brazilians took to the streets of a reported 26 states to protest austerity measures by President Michel Temer and his government. Local media called it the largest demonstration in decades. The measures include pension reform and workers' rights, as well as cuts in social benefits and public services. Across the world now, at least 5 people were killed and more than a dozen others injured by Hurricane Harvey that hit the United States, the U.S. state of Texas over the weekend. Harvey is now a tropical storm and is expected to dump more rain on Houston, which will worsen the flooding that has paralyzed the country's 4th biggest city. The rainwater has forced thousands to flee and has swollen rivers to levels not seen in centuries. A judge has sentenced self-styled godman Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh to 20 years in prison for the rape of 2 women. Hundreds of Singh's followers responded with a deadly rampage after he was convicted last week. At least 38 people were killed and more than 200 injured. An estimated 5,000 people have crossed Myanmar's border into Bangladesh in the past few days, fleeing clashes between Myanmar's security forces and Rohingya insurgents. The Rohingya are denied citizenship in Myanmar and are classified as illegal migrant immigrants, despite claiming roots there that go back centuries. And finally, mariachis from around the globe gathered at the city of Guadalajara to take part in the International Mariachi Festival on Sunday. Hundreds of people dressed in typical mariachi clothing played folk music and danced together. The festival started in 1994 as a way to showcase the Mexican mariachi tradition. There is more on these and other stories on our website, telesurtv.net/English, and please join us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for updates on today's top stories. For TeleSUR English, I'm Regan Neves.